this is one thing that I brought in. This is actually it's called Wings of Gold. It's the Navy pilot wings. It was in 2004. I was just about to go on cruise for the Navy, and I was working. I joined the Navy just by randomness. My dad joined the Navy. He's like, "Oh, you should go in the Navy." So I ended up going to intelligence school. But I ended up, as soon as I got there, obviously I'm the lowest rank in the totem pole, so I was out there doing dishes and stuff. And on the rare occasion, I go up to the flight deck on the aircraft carrier and watch planes land. I'm like, man, that's an awesome job. Why can't I do that? Like, how do I get into that job? I find out I need, 2 pages worth of qualifications and a degree and all this other stuff to get in. So I was like, man, this seems nearly impossible. But I was sitting there one day, and I just had the courage. I was working for the skipper, as the captain of the ship, to clean his office. I was moving vacuum and stuff, and he's sitting there, and he's watching videos, and he's laughing on his, he's got this huge office, half the size of this, but 36 people sleep in this at my rank, and he's got his own personal office, couch and everything. His family can stay there on his ship. It's all fancy, and he's sitting there with another captain, and they're sitting there watching videos of him doing F-18, doing barrel rolls and laughing, and they've got personal footage. They're watching Coke cans fly around inside the F-18, and they're just laughing. They buzz, they're supersonic, and he's looking at the camera, and you can see the flash from traveling with faster speed sound flying through. He's laughing. They're having such a good time. Man, why can I not be that? I have talent. I have what it needs and what it takes. And I said, Captain, how does a guy like me get into a position like that? And he goes, well, you got to want it bad enough. And I was like, well, yeah, of course I want it. He's like, no, you got to actually, you got to show it, And so I said, well, I'll look into it. And I came back the next day with a bunch of information. He goes, and he took these wings. He was he's getting dressed and stuff. And I was back in his office, and he throws the wings down the table and says, if you want to, go get it. So I took these, and I've had these for 8 years. So I've had this for 8 years, and I keep it in my pocket as a little mental tool. Anytime that I think about something, there was times where I didn't do well on a test when I was in college because I had to get my degree to be a pilot. And whenever I was a pilot's license, I see a lot of guys goofing off, drinking at night in college and stuff. I didn't drink probably more than this many times. At the end of the semester, when I had celebrated, that's the only time I drank during college. Other than that, I was pretty much studying every night. And every time I get upset or frustrated or think about something, I always thought about this, why can't I, am I going to be success? And I feel like a personal motivator for my life is seeing the minimal success in my family, and seeing a lot of people like my dad, failed marriage, didn't finish the Navy time, got it, just failed marriage, not a very good role model, always fighting, arguing with family members. I really had no source of success or to look, someone to look up to. So I really looked up to a lot of the officers I'm in the Navy through my time, and I kind of treated them like role models. And I always kept in loop with them. I kept their email addresses. They're always so eager to help you be successful. Because you think about it. Have you ever helped someone? It feels good to kind of help someone, and they don't see a lot of that, and see people with desire and burning desire to want to do something. Some of the people in my class that are classing up with me, they're straight from college, whereas I worked hard to get where I am. They just kind of, it's like a privilege because they're, a bunch of them are Harvard grads with MBAs, and they're like, oh, it's just, they don't take it serious. They don't appreciate it. I know I'm going to blow past them when we go to school because they just don't appreciate it enough. They're not caring, they're not studying. They're like, oh, I'll get in shape when I get to OCS. I'm already in shape. I'll run minutes under them in that mile and a half. And it's just that kind of mentality is where you got to keep. And I think maybe if you have these little things, if you find something to hold on to and keep your focus, whether it's your first medal or whatever it is, it doesn't get you fighting or anything. And also the people that you're with, look, everyone's here. If you stay with these people and you train and you find people that are better than you, or people that are somewhere you want to go, and you try to get every little piece of knowledge from them, you're going to get to where they want to go. And one thing I left before I left, the skipper in front of the officers, he said, I'm going to be working for you someday, and that's a 2-star admiral now. He was a captain at the time, but he's a 2-star admiral now. He told me that when he left in front of his officers, which, junior officers, you'd think you would say that to. And they looked pissed off. But, he was sincere about it. He said it exactly how he felt. I thought it was kind of cool. Personally, I didn't think, I was like, well, that's a little too much. But and then more and more, I start thinking, yeah, it's probably true. Because, how I see so many people in the Navy now, too, is just they get this great thing and then they don't appreciate it. You have these great people around you teaching you things that you're so fortunate for. It starts becoming so commonplace that you just don't appreciate it.